Did you know that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail? Not only that, but they fail multiple times. They don't fail one year, but they continue to fail year after year. So here you are, new year, and you're wondering, now what? You set this resolution that you definitely wanted to accomplish. You were extremely inspired to do just a few days ago, and now you're here and you can't figure out why your life no longer matches what you were inspired to do. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. Over 80% of New Year's resolutions fail, and there's a good reason for that. So let's discuss it. The first reason that New Year's resolutions fail is because the date is arbitrary. A lot of people believe that on New Year, that automatically this light switch will click on and you'll start to be motivated and you'll make the changes you need and you'll accomplish your goal. But that's not true. If you haven't already been putting in the work and laying that foundation, the light switch is not automatically going to click on. This is why I tell people, don't wait for a perfect start. Don't wait for Sunday. Don't wait for New Year's. Get started on your goals. If you're serious about accomplishing them, get started on them right away. The second reason New Year's resolutions fail is because so many people have too many resolutions. You walk into the new year with 30 different resolutions. You want to lose weight, you want to buy a house, you want to start a business, you want to write a book, you want to get your credit score together, you want to volunteer in your kid's classroom once a week, you want to buy a new car, you want to do all these things. And while they're all admirable, our body is not meant to take on that many goals at once, especially when it's a total life shift. I think back to my New Year's back in 2015. I think I had a total of like 12 New Year's resolutions. That wasn't possible. There was no way I could make that many changes at once. So one of the things that I recommend to my clients is to identify one or two really, really big goals that are pressing, that you really want to work on, and make those your resolutions. Start to work on those things and start to make changes. When your life and your body adjusts to that, then you can add in new resolutions or new goals after that. But you first must accomplish the most pressing ones before adding in the new ones. Another reason that New Year's resolutions don't last is because the goal isn't clear. You might set a resolution and say, I want to lose weight, but you're not clear exactly on how to lose that weight. Or I want to buy a house, and you're not really clear on how to go about looking for a realtor or how to go about saving the money that you'll need to be able to buy the house. And so a lot of people struggle with setting these goals and making them clear. Finally, the last reason why New Year's resolutions don't last is because truly people don't want change. I see so many times on social media, new year, new me. And so everyone is in the rave and the idea and the excitement of setting these big goals, but they're not really in a position to want to make that change. The truth of the matter is when you set resolutions or you set goals, it is going to take a total mindset and lifestyle shift. And while it can sound good on paper, it can sound good on social media, it can sound good in conversation when you're talking to other inspiring people, it's really difficult behind closed doors. It's really difficult behind the scenes to make the changes and the shifts that you need to do. And so when it comes down to it, a lot of people don't really want the change. You want to lose weight, but you don't really want to change eating your favorite Cinnabon. You want to write a book, but you don't really want to wake up out of your comfortable bed in the middle of the winter at 5 o'clock in the morning to write. You want to start a business, but the idea of like paying for a coach instead of buying that new Louboutin or the new shoes doesn't really fit your lifestyle. You want to heal, but you also like playing victim because you want people to feel sorry for the pain that you've experienced. You have to truly want the change, and that change takes a total mindset and lifestyle shift that you have to be willing and ready to go after unapologetically. No matter what people say, no matter what distractions are coming your way, you have to be ready to go after that. So the best way to go into the new year is to cut your excuses and to find your results. And what I mean by that is you cannot allow your excuses to take over your life, to overwhelm you, to tell you that, oh yeah, I couldn't go to the gym today because I just was so tired at work. Or I couldn't wake up this morning because I was just, so comfortable in my bed. Or I couldn't forgive because you know what? He doesn't deserve forgiveness. You have to cut the excuses if you truly want the results. So let's talk about how to go after getting the results. So you first must identify a plan. And this is so important because if you go into the new year kind of all willy-nilly and just hope that your life will align with it, it's not. So maybe your plan is that you want to start packing lunch more so that you can save money. Well, identify what that looks like. Does that mean that every Saturday you wake up and you meal prep for the week? Does that mean that you drive a different route to work so that you're not tempted to stop at Starbucks? Does that mean that you give yourself one meal out a week? Does that mean you tell your friends in advance, I'm not going to be going to happy hour to dinner with you anymore on Tuesdays? Whatever that looks like, identify what that plan is. If your plan is to really heal, your depression, anxiety, does that mean that you need to hire a coach? Does that mean you need to stay off your ex's social media? Does that mean that you need to take control of your thoughts by doing mindset practices or meditation? What does that plan look like? You cannot wait for the new year and say, all right, I'm ready to heal, and just wait for healing to fall on your lap. Because I'm going to be honest with you, it's not. You can't wait for weight changes to fall in your lap, because they're not. You can't wait for the house that you desire to buy to just fall into your yard. You have to take active steps to make that happen. It's not just going to come accidentally. It takes a lot of effort, hard work, and a very diligent and detailed plan. I'm going to put a link to a program that I have that walks you through the goal setting that you can implement within your new year so that you can have a thorough plan to be able to go after your goals and, more importantly, to be able to accomplish them. Finally, you must keep the plan in your forefront of your mind. So what I mean by that is the goal must always be in your thoughts. If you want your goal to inform your decisions, it must be in front of you at all times. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. You can do this through hiring, support or accountability. So looking for a coach to walk you through and hold you accountable so that you're going after your goals. You can do that by writing out affirmations, reminding yourself of what you're, looking forward to. You can do that by having a friend that's also working on the same goal. You and her talk regularly so that you remember that you're working on it. But the point is, you want to keep your goal in the forefront of your mind. A few years ago, I desired to learn how to do pull-ups. I just had this experience at the gym where I thought it was really cool, and I'm like, I want to learn how to do pull-ups. And so my goal was to learn how to do 5 pull-ups by the end of the year. Now, I know that sounds really, really small, but pull-ups are pretty complex, and I wanted to do the wide ones, and I wanted to do the skinny ones. And so I knew that was going to take a lot of work because I didn't have a lot of upper body strength. So one of the things that I did immediately was I ordered a pull-up bar. Now, I didn't wait for New Year's to do it. I knew that I wanted to do it by the New Year, so I ordered it on a very special, I think it was like a Black Friday deal on Amazon. But I ordered a pull-up bar, and I could have installed it anywhere, right? My workout area is in my basement, so I probably should have installed it in my basement. But what I decided to do is I decided to install it in my bedroom. Now, let me explain why. If it's in my basement, I'm going to see the pull-up bar when I go to my basement, which is sometimes because most of the time I work out at the gym. And so for me, it wasn't going to be a priority to learn how to do pull-ups. But if it was in my room every single day that I was walking out of my door, I'd see that pull-up bar and it would instantly remind me, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be working on how to do pull-ups. So keeping that bar there, every time I'd walk out of my room to go to the bathroom or to go get my children or to go downstairs and eat or to go in the basement to wash clothes or to do whatever, I would instantly jump up and do some pull-ups. Because that goal was right there in the forefront of my mind, I constantly had to reflect and work towards it. Maybe for you, it's taping a Post-it note around your credit card. I had a client do this. She taped a Post-it note around her credit card, and this reminded her that regularly she needed to be spending her money on things that mattered. So the little note said, is this important? And so it was a constant reminder that her goal was saving. For you, it might be healing, right? And so for you, maybe it's setting an alarm on your phone that every morning as soon as you wake up, you're doing a mindfulness practice so that you're constantly working towards your healing. Your goal needs to be constantly in front of your mind because the truth is we go through our days with routines, patterns, and different things that we have implemented that are familiar. And so it's really easy to fall back into that routine or into those patterns and ignore the new changes that we want. Research says that it takes over 3 weeks, up to like 66 days to change a habit. That's the same thing with changing your routine. And so you have to be patient with yourself to remember that the process is going to take time, but you also cannot give up. One of the things that I often see is I see a lot of people that start off really strong, especially like at my gym. My gym is like super packed the first 2 weeks of January, every single year. And that's great. These are people that really, really want to get healthy and lose weight and get in shape and build their endurance. But then after that, it stops. In fact, January 12th is known as National Quitters Day because by January 12th, majority of people have quit on their New Year's resolutions. But you have to stand out. You have to be different. You can't fall victim to that. And that's why it's so important to identify where you're falling short with your plan, what's difficult for you, and get that support and accountability that you need so that you can make a detailed plan, keep it in the forefront of your mind, and move in the direction of your goals. Before I go, I do want to share one thing. Changing your goal is a big step. It's huge. Identifying your resolution and actually working towards it is really, really challenging. It's not something that's going to come natural. It's not even something that's going to come easy. And so the best thing that I can tell you during this time is to be patient with yourself. It is not something that's going to happen like this or overnight. And so if you are constantly getting frustrated with yourself and wanting to throw in the towel and giving up and making excuses and focusing on the problems, you're not going to reach it. The truth is you're going to fall short. You set a goal to work out 3 times a week and maybe you worked out 2 times this week. Okay, identify where you lost. Identify where you messed up and move forward. Don't beat yourself up and say, well, I messed up this week, so the whole resolution is just thrown away, right? You want to heal, and so you've meditated consistently for 15 minutes every day, but one day you missed your alarm clock and you didn't wake up in time. That's okay. Identify where you can make change. Maybe it's at night because you're more open or you won't fall asleep or you're less distracted. Whatever it may be, identify the change that needs to take place and keep pressing. Do not allow one setback to make you totally throw the resolution away. You got this. Keep going. This is New Year. This is a new you. Now that you know what you can do to be successful this new year. I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.